Boys, boys, boys and girls. Okay, so what are we looking at? We are looking at commercially available aluminium paint. Now, I don't know about you, this was someone painted on a piece of M foam. But you see my problem here. This has always been very, very silver. It looks like a farm gate or a wind pump or it looks very farmy. Stuff that you paint for it not to rust. I think the biggest problem with this is that the actual metallic bits in it, the flake, is way out of scale. And this is the problem with most of these paints. All right, so I gave this to my paint guy. I said to him, but we need to make a plan for something that's a little bit more, finer and not as silver. So this oak's a genius. So he said to me, okay, I'll make you one in a Duco, in a tin. This is it. He does these for me, puts them in a rattle can, and it's a Duco. Now, the beautiful thing with the Duco is, look at this. It goes on smooth as silk. It dries very, very thin. So you don't have the thing where you lose detail because the paint's so damn thick, which tend to happen with the other aluminium paints. All right, so look at this. I mean, this has got almost an oiliness about it. Why? Because this oak said to me, okay, no. You paint a dark color underneath, either a black or a dark gray. This one was dark gray. And then you hammer it with the aluminium paint, which is opaque. So if you do it straight without any paint underneath it, you will still see all the colors underneath. So on a basic print, you can't just spray the aluminium on. It does not cover. What it needs is the underlay of a darker color. Similar to when you paint chrome, acrylic paint or whatever. You got to have a shiny underneath, a shiny dark color, black normally, and then you spray this over. And look at that. Now, two things happen. All right. Number one is I love the finish, but because it's Duco and when it is actually dry, it weathers beautifully. So it takes to any paint that you put on it. You can now, a Duco is a very hard, that's what's on your car, man. It's a very hard wearing paint. So you can go with harsh stuff onto this. You can go with enamel thinners and enamel washes. It won't do the clear coat any damage. There's no clear coat in this yet. This is just straight out the tin. However, I want to show you what it looks like when you weather this thing on this base. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, hell, man. It just grabs the washes. It just holds everything on it. Everything after that. Oh, yes, another thing is the decals. Because I need a smooth surface to put the decals on. And this is smooth as silk. And when you hit it with the weathering, the washes and stuff, this is the net result. Now, remember I told you about the others the other day and the way I weathered that. Now, the customer that wants these said to me, Rickers, I want to see that these things were silver back in the day. I want to see the silver. I don't want it too dark. So I said to him, let me see what I can do. So this is not his, this is Jaco's one. But I'm going to do that one. It's on there similar. And then when he's arrived tonight or so, I will do that the same as this one. Because, there was a time when these things were about 10 years old, but they did look like this. They were still not buggered up enough to be heavily weathered. But they had the odd rust mark here and there. And the nice thing with the rust marks, it was always a rundown from it. So yes, I love this wagon. Absolutely love it. I think I'm going to do myself a couple like this as well, because I got the other one that's also the silver, but very heavily weathered. But that is such an intricate, it takes you 3 days to do that thing. You know, and it's, this, I did it in a day. Probably 8 hours, and this was done. Boom, finish and klar. I'm going to do that one now. So yeah, what do you think? I mean, this is, man, this just smacks of GZ10. This is, you know, there was a lot of them that looked like this. And it has the right feel about it. Okay. All right, so this is, I've got another little thing that I want to show you, but I'll do a separate video. I must just unpack the box quickly. All right, dudes, that's that. Okay, man, let me know what you think. Goedje, laukies. Goodbye.